1986, Hotline achieving notable success in South Africa, but you were also approached at that point by the ANC.
Yeah, I had become a card-carrying member of the ANC in 1983. I think much to some of the members of Hotline's horror. Because I think that everybody was so terrified about getting political. And I was like, listen guys, you can't possibly be spending every weekend doing what we're doing. You know, somebody asked me the other day if I was an activist, and I said, do they think that that applies? And I said to myself, yes, I do, because I think activism is not always standing up with a Molotov cocktail and an AK-47. You know, activism happens in lots of different forms.
But you also had a job to do. What was that job?
You know, my job, as far as I was concerned, from the day I had a voice, and I will continue it, and I'm about to introduce that voice, and strangely enough, it's a very similar rhetoric that is going to come from my mouth, you know. I had a job to say, this is wrong. What is happening is wrong. People shall govern, not one particular sect or one particular person.
Nelson Mandela, a close association in the book itself, some wonderful pictures of you and him, but also the famous letter. What did it say?
Oh, first of all, he wrote Dear Penelope, which I thought was so endearing, and he signed himself Uncle Nelson. You know, he spoke about how he was following me with the little bit of press and newspapers that he could get in prison, and he knew that I was going to a concert in Windhoek, and he wished me luck on that. He'd also heard that I'd been in a very compromising situation at Howard College, where they'd thrown beer cans at me while I was on stage, and he congratulated me for standing my ground and not leaving the stage until they'd run out of beer cans. And then he also said, you know, it was a very encouraging letter at a time when I really needed the encouragement. Hotline had broken up. My career was really dodgy, and getting this letter was really something that made me feel that I could go on.
So, the career's dodgy at this point. You've referenced the Rugby World Cup, but this is also a time that you call the lost years of your life.
Yeah.
Alcohol, drug abuse as well. Even a song called Drink It Down.
Yeah, which I you know, this is how sneaky we are. You know, I wrote it for somebody else because I thought he had a drink problem. Meanwhile, deep down in my soul, right down here, I knew that I was writing it for myself. How
did you recover? I think part of the recovery, if I'm not mistaken, was a person called Yvonne Johnson who came into your life.
Yvonne came into my life at a time when I was very, very vulnerable, and I was very my self-esteem was very low, my self-worth was very low, and nobody really tells the truth. You know, you phone people after you've behaved really badly at a party, and you say, was I okay last night? And they don't tell you the truth. And Yvonne was this you know, this enormous businesswoman who headed up the International Marketing Council, and was also a completely black and white person who told it like it was. And she held the mirror up to me, and the truth was I didn't like what I saw. So that, of course, that was just like, basically what happened was I saw the mirror at the top of the roller coaster, and as I saw it, I just went, whoa, and I just plunged. I mean, that would be how I would visualize it if I'd made a visual image.
And I think you'd reached the very bottom when you imbibed a bottle of shampoo, am I correct in saying?
Not shampoo, I helped myself to my sister's Flex hairspray.
Hairspray?
Yeah.
And at that point, you don't get any lower than that, I'm sure.
Yeah, it nearly killed me. You know, but that was after, you know, when as I say, when Yvonne held that, you know, and
held that mirror.
Very intelligently stayed up at the top, and she thought, I'm not going down there with you. And I had 5 years of going down and down and down, further and further down. I lost everything. And then, and then I drank the Flex hairspray, and I nearly died. And I think it was a bit of me, and I think it was a lot of some kind of spiritual, some kind of, I don't know, it was intervention. And, you know, I'm not a hokey pokey, you know, that kind of person, but something bigger than me took a hold of me.
Let's bring it right back to 2014 at the Jabulani Amphitheatre. This astonishing life, honestly written about in a great book. Where's the career now going?
You know, Ivana's back in my life, and she's also managing me, which is presents a twofold. It's fabulous, and it's also really, really bad because she's a workaholic, which I like sometimes. But sometimes I'd like a bit of a break. I think that what is happening now, I mean, I've got 3 overseas tours lined up for next year. I'm still promoting the book. I'm just doing loads of shows. I go into the studio to record my new album with somebody that I'm so excited, but I can't talk about it now. And it's a woman that is producing it, a very, very famous female South African singer, songwriter that is producing my new album, who I'm extremely happy to be working with and collaborating with. I'm also going to be collaborating again with Marion Tam, doing a show called Driving the Pantechnicon Through the Revolution, which is going to be a comedy about exactly that period in time. And I've just got so much. I mean, we're starting to look at 2016.
You're happy and you're busy.
Well, I think that when you're busy, you are happy.